begin your first 5 minutes with breaking news. Springfield and state police are still surrounding Baystate Medical Center's emergency room facilities as a tense standoff continues there. A man has been armed inside his car for hours now after allegedly shooting his wife. CBS 3's Tim Callery is live on scene with the very latest.
We're live here on Springfield Street, just outside the hospital, where it looks like we may be briefed again by hospital officials. I'll take a step out of the way to kind of show you what's happening here. The standoff has been going on for the past 3 hours or so. Police actually just wrapped up a presser just a few moments ago. They tell me there is an adult male at Baystate armed with a gun. However, the important thing to note here is that he's not inside the hospital. Police say he shot his wife in West Springfield after an argument and then drove her here to the hospital, and he's now inside the car outside the ER with a gun to his head. Springfield police say they need help with the assistance of state police and are trying to get him to surrender peacefully. Now it looks like there is going to be another press conference, so we'll try to listen in here and see what they have to say with this. But again, I just want to reiterate while police get ready that hospital officials do want to say that only the ER is locked down right now. The rest of the hospital is open and is okay. And as of right now, no one is injured inside the hospital and everybody is safe inside. The only suspect that they're zeroing in on is in his car right now. And like I said, they're trying to make this end as peacefully as possible. We'll hear from Sergeant John Delaney now of the Springfield Police Department.
7:30 this evening over in West Springfield on Piper Road, there was a shooting. It was domestic and related. Husband and wife were inside a small red Fiat, traveling around having an argument. The result of an argument was the wife was shot once. The husband was driving the car. He drove the car around for 20 minutes. The wife dialed 911, talked to the police dispatchers. She thought she was in an accident. Didn't realize she was shot. The husband brought her over here to the Baystate emergency room, pulled into the parking lot, got some help. People inside the emergency room came out and brought the wife into the hospital. Police officers were then dispatched to this area, and they were their attention was brought on the red Fiat that was parked in the parking lot. Officers then saw that the husband inside the car had what appeared to be a .357 pointed at his head. The officers then surrounded the car, called in for backup, and that's where we are right now. The car has been completely surrounded. At no time was anybody in the hospital in any danger. There's nobody in any danger inside the hospital right now. The emergency room is in partial shutdown. Ambulances are coming in here. The hospital is open. It is business as usual. The parking lot where this is taking place has been cordoned off. Only police officers are down there now. We have negotiators talking with him right now, trying to talk him in to putting the gun down so we can approach the car safely. We'll wait it out as long as we can. He's sitting inside the car. The car is not running. The window is open. Officers are talking to him through the window. It's cold. Hopefully he'll be able to put the gun down and we'll be able to end this with nobody else getting hurt. The wife is in the emergency room. She's doing fine. She's talking to the police. She's going to be okay. This is an ongoing situation. I have no names for you at this time. I'm going to turn this over to the hospital security, Mr. Tom Lynch.
Yeah, I'd just like to re-emphasize what Sergeant Delaney has said, that we are still seeing patients. The hospital is open. At no time were any patients, staff, visitors, families in any danger. And what we're doing now is continuing to cooperate with the police as they carry on with this very, very difficult situation that they have.
Is everyone still inside the ER, or did you move them away from that section?
People are still in the ER. We have moved them from the windows for safety reasons, but they're still in there and we're still treating them.
How long did the lockdown last?
It's still under partial lockdown and will remain so until the police conclude what they have.
Given the nature of ER work, are these things that you guys go through drills for?
We drill on any number of contingencies. We drill with the Springfield Police on certain kinds of situations. So we're very, very fortunate that we have a very close partnership with the police, and we're always appreciative of the support that they give us. Thank you.
I just want to add, we don't want people to come down here and anywhere on Springfield Street, on Chestnut Street. Let the police do their job. The press will be notified as anything changes. So I want people to come down here. There's nothing to look at. Onlookers are being told to leave. The state police are here, West Springfield Police here. They're assisting the Springfield Police Department that is taking the lead on this. Commissioner Fitchett is here, and the deputies are also here.
Is this person known by Springfield or West Springfield Police at all?
We know his identification. West Springfield Police knows him. He's not known to the Springfield Police Department. Okay.
The command post that arrived a little while ago, that's just to assist the services here in case it goes.
Command post that just arrived is here for communication purposes. It's there for the officers as a command post so they can meet and strategize. Hopefully this is not going to go on too much longer. And again, we hope that it ends when nobody else gets hurt. Okay.
Thank you, Sergeant. So, Sharice, again, just to wrap up everything here at the hospital, police saying that this happened in West Springfield where the suspect shot his wife after some type of argument. We're really not sure what the argument was, but then he brought his wife here to the hospital, and that's when workers were able to bring her inside the hospital, take care of her. She is doing okay, and now the suspect is inside his car with a gun, and police are trying to do peace talks with him to get him put down the gun and get him to walk away. Now, we'll continue to keep you updated. As you heard Sergeant Delaney said that they will continue to brief the media, so stick with CBS 3 and we'll have all the latest information as soon as it becomes available. But for now, we're live in Springfield. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
All right, Tim, thank you. For now, we're going to turn things over to Nick Morganelli with a look at your forecast. We turn back to our breaking news now. Baystate Medical Center is still under a partial lockdown while state and local police are in a standoff with an armed suspect. We'll get right out to CBS 3's Tim Callery. He is live from the hospital with the very latest.
Well, Sharice, this standoff has been going on for nearly 3 hours now. Springfield police are trying to negotiate with the suspect who is parked in his car outside of Baystate Hospital in the ER department. Now, a press conference just wrapped up moments ago. Springfield police telling us that this started in West Springfield when the suspect and his wife got into some type of argument. We're really not sure what that was about, but he did end up shooting his wife and bringing her here to the hospital. And that's when hospital officials were able to get her out of the car, bring her inside for medical treatment. Now, police say she is doing okay. Police also telling us that at no time was anyone in any danger here at the hospital.
Emergency room is in lockdown, although ambulance service is still coming in. The entire hospital is still open. The entire hospital is not in lockdown. The suspect still has the gun to his head. It is surrounded by police, and at no time is anybody else's life in danger.
Now, we'll also hear from Baystate officials who I spoke with earlier tonight, later on in our newscast. So stick with CBS 3 for all the latest updates. But again, an active standoff going on here at Baystate Medical Center. We're live in Springfield. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
All right, Tim, thank you. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story closely and continue to bring you updates as they become available. But now we turn to weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli. We can turn back to our breaking news now out of Springfield. Police are still responding to a tense armed standoff at Baystate Medical Center. CBS 3's Tim Callery is live from the scene with the very latest on this.
Ambulances are still able to come in.
Well, Sharice, still a very active scene here at Baystate Medical Center in Springfield. We're standing along Springfield Street, just outside the ER where all this is going down. Now, Springfield police tell us just a few moments ago during a press conference that their suspect is inside the car and he is armed with a gun. Now, they say that the car is off, the windows are down, and they're hoping that lands in their benefit to get the suspect to surrender peacefully. Now, police again said this all happened in West Springfield when the man was in argument with his wife, shot his wife into the car, and then brought her here to Baystate Medical Center where she has been treated and she is okay. Now, Baystate officials tell me just moments ago that at no time was anyone in danger inside the hospital.
There's no risk to any of our patients, our staff, the visitors, families that are here, and that we remain open. We're still receiving ambulance traffic and we're caring for patients. And that what we're trying to do is cooperate to the extent that we can with the police department to make their job easier.
And now Baystate officials tell me that only the ER is in lockdown right now. The rest of the hospital is open and functioning. And again, they said at no time did the man enter the hospital with the gun or were any shots fired inside the hospital. We'll continue to keep you updated, of course, throughout our newscast. So stick with CBS 3 Springfield. Right now we're live in Springfield. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
Covering news in your town. You're watching CBS 3 Springfield.
Well, returning back to our breaking news now out of Springfield, where Baystate Medical Center remains on a partial lockdown after hours of an armed standoff just outside their ER. CBS 3's Tim Callery joining us live now from the scene.
Well, Sherry, still a very active scene here at Baystate Medical Center. I'll take a quick step out of the way, and you can see how things are going on right now. There are multiple crews here from both Springfield Police and as well as Massachusetts State Police. Now, police tell us that this all began in West Springfield, where the suspect shot his wife and drove her here to the hospital, and that's when authorities came outside, brought the wife inside, and were able to treat her. They tell us that she is doing okay and is expected to be okay. Now, police say the suspect is in his car outside the hospital in the area of the emergency room. They say that they hope with his windows down, the car off in this cold weather, that this will allow him to surrender peacefully. Now, they say that hospital officials say that at no time was anyone in any danger. That the ER is on lockdown right now, but the rest of the hospital is working. And of course, we're still waiting to hear from officials. They said that they would be briefing us momentarily. So of course, if that happens, we'll continue to update you on our website, cbs3springfield.com, with all the latest information. But for now, we're live here in Springfield. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
Tim, thank you. And we are hearing that police will be holding another press conference shortly. We will bring you that when it happens live. Well, some Russian hockey fans are still seeing. All right, Nick, thanks so much. We do want to turn back to our breaking news in Springfield. Baystate remains on a partial lockdown. Police are holding another press conference. We're going to send you out live to that press conference right now to hear the very latest.
Well, Sharice, right now we're standing outside on Springfield Street, just outside the hospital. Police and hospital officials are coming over to brief us once again. This will be the third time that they have spoken to the media, just to kind of wrap everything up, that there is an ongoing standoff here at the hospital, just outside the ER, not inside the hospital. That's something that hospital officials really want to stress, that nobody inside the hospital was in any danger at any point during this entire standoff. They say that it is on a partial lockdown, however, that the ER is in lockdown, but the rest of the hospital is open and fully functioning. At no time was anyone in any danger. Now, this all began in West Springfield when the suspect shot his wife and brought her here to the hospital. Officials tell us that she is expected to be okay and that they are assisting her right now with injuries. Now, we're not really sure what exactly caused the argument or allowed it to escalate to get to this point, but police are trying to talk this suspect down and hoping that he surrenders. They do tell us that he has the windows down and the car off, and so they're hoping that with these frigid temperatures that this will allow him to surrender peacefully and to just give up. But again, we're just waiting to hear from police right now, just to kind of give us a third update as to what's going on, whether or not this looks like it will be wrapping up soon or not. But we'll hear from Springfield Police Sergeant John Delaney. The Springfield Police have been on this the entire night. They've also been working with the Massachusetts State Police as well, just trying to, talk to the suspect, trying to get him to really just surrender peacefully. They don't want anyone else getting hurt in this situation. They want this to end in a peaceful manner, as I had mentioned, hoping that things will really go in favor here. They said that, again, just to reiterate everything, that no one really...
And we do want to just talk over that now. Baystate Health has continued to use their Twitter account to update patients and anyone who may be potentially going to Baystate Hospital tonight. They do want to let people know that the hospital is only on a partial shutdown. We do want to reiterate that. People can still come into Baystate who are undergoing emergencies right now with their health. Baystate Health just tweeted, quote, BMC continues caring for patients. Our patients and employees have not been in any danger during this sad and frightening situation, end quote. Now, we do know, as Tim just said, that they are trying to keep this from escalating any further. They are trying to keep this as safe as possible, and hopefully that suspect does surrender that weapon and ends this standoff very soon. We know it's been happening for several hours now, but as you heard Tim say, as you've heard the police Police, as well as the Baystate security officials, say they are still accepting patients. This is only a partial lockdown, so do not, if you are undergoing an emergency or having health difficulties right now, you should still be contacting 911. You should still go into Baystate Medical Center. The ER is under question right now. The parking lot of the ER is where that suspect is holding that gun to himself, and police are still trying to talk him down. But we are going to remain on scene there for you right now and send things back out to Tim Callery as we await another Springfield police press conference.
Conditions will kind of prompt him to finally put an end to this, put that gun down, and allow them to get towards the car. So the situation continues to go on here. The state police are still on scene.
Well, Sharice, as we have been talking about this during this entire time, we're just waiting for police to really brief us on what's going on. Right now, Sergeant John Delaney of the Springfield Police Department is just meeting with hospital officials right now, just trying to discuss what's going on and what updates are. But now we'll listen in to see what he has to say. I think he's ready to talk to us now, so we'll listen for any updates that we have from the police department.
Sir, can you come up?
Give me your direct line and I'll have to call you back.
Very latest. What's the very latest, Sergeant Delaney?
The Springfield Police Department has tightened up the perimeter around the Fiat that's inside the emergency room parking lot. We have our tactical unit in here right now. They're relieving other officers that were here, pulled in from different sectors. Those sectors are now being protected on patrol, and now we have our tactical unit here under the command of Fitchett. The state police are still on site with us. West Springfield Police also came over the bridge to give us a hand in the negotiations with the subject. They know the subject better than we do. They've been in constant contact with him at the motor vehicle. We're talking to him between an open window of his Fiat, and the officers are behind a police car, and we're talking him into trying to put the gun down so he can approach the car safely, get the gun in our custody, put him into custody, and we'll take it from there. The wife is doing good inside the emergency room. I've been told that she's going to be okay. She's talking to police inside there. She's very concerned about what's taking place out here. And again, I have to emphasize, we don't want people coming down here to get in the way. Nobody in the public should be here. Just let the police do what they're supposed to do. The emergency room is open. The hospital is open. Nobody in this building is in any danger at all. The police made sure of that. We're completely surrounded the car. The guy's not going anywhere. Hopefully very soon it's going to end where the guy turns over the gun. We're not releasing his name as of yet, as somebody that is known to the West Springfield Police Department.
Has the man made any attempt to get out of the car or any movement there?
There's a lot of movement inside the car. Again, police are all around it, within 10, 15 feet away from the car. The window is open. We see his hands. He has the gun to his head. We're talking back and forth. We have trained negotiators down there talking to the suspect right now. He's talking back and forth. The car's vehicle is off, so he's cold. And hopefully that will give him some incentive to turn the gun over to police.
And you said West Springfield Police know him. Can you tell us what kind of previous history is there between
I can't comment on that.
Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And Sharice, as you just heard, Springfield Sergeant John Delaney saying that the standoff is ongoing, but they have zeroed in on this car, saying that the hospital is open and they don't expect any danger to the hospital as of right now. They're zeroing in on this car, trying to talk to the suspect to really get him to surrender. Again, police also asking the public to stay away from the hospital and just to let them do their jobs. We'll continue to keep you updated on our website, cbs3springfield.com, with all the latest information for now. That's the very latest live here outside Baystate Medical Center. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
All right, Tim, thank you for your reporting out there. And just to reiterate, this has been going on since before 8 o'clock tonight. That suspect is surrounded by state and Springfield police. We've seen situations like this, standoffs before, where the police have to take it slowly to keep it as safe and peaceful as possible. But we will continue to keep you updated on that partial hospital shutdown on our website, cbs3springfield.com. Have a great night.
And good Wednesday morning from Baystate Medical Center here in Springfield, where we have breaking news. The latest details on last night's standoff here at the hospital. Springfield police say their suspect is dead from a self-inflicting gunshot wound. Now, Springfield police arrived here at the hospital just before 8 p.m. after reports of a man with a gun on the property. When they arrived, they found the 54-year-old male suspect sitting in his car in the parking lot outside of the ER. Police say he shot his wife in West Springfield, drove her here to the hospital, and refused to get out of the car for police. Now, after nearly a 4-hour standoff, police say the man shot himself in the head and he was pronounced dead 20 minutes later. Police held a press conference during last night's standoff. Here's what they had to say.
Emergency room is in lockdown, although ambulance service is still coming in. The entire hospital is still open. The entire hospital is not in lockdown. The suspect still has the gun to his head. It is surrounded by police, and at no time is anybody else's life in danger.
And now that man's identity has yet to be released. We're still waiting to hear from the police department. We also spoke with hospital officials last night after the standoff was over. They say at no time was anyone in any danger. We'll hear from them coming up in our next half-hour hit. But for now, we're live outside Baystate Medical Center. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield. And we are following breaking news out of Springfield as police have identified Eddie Bonifay of West Springfield as last night's suspect in the standoff here at Baystate Medical Center. Now, police first arrived here on scene just after 8 p.m. after reports of a man with a gun on the property. When they arrived, they said they found the 54-year-old sitting in his car in the parking lot of the ER. Police say he shot his wife in West Springfield, drove her here to the hospital, and refused to get out of the car for police. Now, after a 4-hour standoff, police say Bonifay then shot himself in the head, and he was pronounced dead some 20 minutes later. Now, Springfield Police Commissioner William Fitchett held a press conference after the incident was over. Here's what he had to say.
The location that it happened in was a very secure, dead-end location, and it couldn't have been better. The cold and the weather was particularly miserable for the officers. He was sheltered inside a car. Our officers weren't. They showed great restraint. They had many opportunities to use deadly force. He waved the gun around, pointed it at some officers, and I'm proud of the officers and the restraint that they used. But it's difficult, and it's hard, and all of you know it. You're out here tonight. You know how hard it is. We had officers lying in the snow, totally exposed to the weather. It's very cold out there, and it's difficult for them, and they did a great job. I'm very proud of them.
And again, police identifying 54-year-old Eddie Bonifay as the suspect in last night's standoff here at Baystate Medical Center. His wife is recovering from one gunshot wound. Police say she is expected to be okay. Now, the hospital wants to make a note that at no time was a gun brought inside the hospital and that everyone was safe. Of course, we'll have more details tonight at CBS 3 Springfield News, first at 4, but that's the very latest live. Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.